Analysts and experts think that we might be heading towards a housing crash due to this one warning sign. What is it? Watch this video. Are we on the verge of a housing market crash in Los Angeles? Well, a lot of people are talking about it right now, and analysts and experts are pointing to one number, one critical warning sign that has them nervous. And it's the same indicator that flashed red before the 2008 housing crash, and it's showing up again. So in today's video, we're breaking down exactly what that warning sign is and why it matters here in Los Angeles in this housing market, and whether it means we're headed for a crash, which some people think, or just a correction. And right now, it's no secret that the Los Angeles housing market has shifted. And after years of bidding wars, low inventory, and soaring prices, the market is leaning more towards buyers. But here's what experts are really watching. That's the month's supply of homes on the market. So what does that mean? That's the number of months it would take to sell every home available if no new listings were added. And the latest data shows existing homes nationwide at 4.7 months of supply. But for new construction, it's almost 10 months nationwide, 9.8 months to be exact. That's a big jump, and it's what has economists comparing today to what we saw in the lead up to 2008. So here's why this is such a big deal. When home builders have too much inventory, they get aggressive, right? And that's what we're seeing. They cut prices, offer huge incentives like covering closing costs, buying down mortgage rates, or throwing in tens of thousands of dollars in upgrades. So picture this. On one side, you've got a brand new, shiny home in Porter Ranch or Los Angeles, Orange County, wherever it may be, with $200,000 in incentives and a lower monthly payment. On the other, you've got a resale home here in Los Angeles, right, with no perks, older finishes, and a seller unwilling to budge. Where do you think buyers are going to go? Exactly. They're going to new construction. And that puts downward pressure on the resale market, driving values lower. Yet at the same time, the so-called lock-in effect is weakening. For years, homeowners with mortgage rates under 4% refused to sell because they didn't want to trade into today's higher rates. But people are getting restless. They need to move for jobs, family, or lifestyle changes, and they're starting to list their homes, even if it means letting go of their ultra-low mortgage rate. And that's adding even more inventory to the market. The challenge? Well, buyer demand just isn't keeping up. A lot of the buyers are still on the sidelines sitting, frustrated with these 6 to 7% mortgage rates. And even though that's historically normal, it feels really high compared to what we had the last decade. So homes sit right now, a lot of times extra days on the market, that's increasing. Sellers are forced to reduce their prices. And is this going to be catastrophic? Well, a lot of experts say no. Now, Fortune recently quoted Lance Lambert from Resale, who pointed out that inventory levels really depend on the region. And in the Sun Belt, where most of the new construction is happening nationwide, it's absolutely a buyer's market. But here in parts of Los Angeles, whether it be Glendale, pockets of the San Fernando Valley, the West Side, limited resale inventory still gives sellers some leverage. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, the Federal Reserve is starting to trim rates to support affordability, but it's still unclear if that will be enough to bring buyers rushing back into the market. And from what I am seeing firsthand on our listings right now in the field, especially in new construction here in Los Angeles, those communities, well, those builders here in Los Angeles are pulling every lever to move their homes, especially with aggressive pricing, incentives, you name it. They're calling me every week. That's something that every seller needs to watch because it directly impacts what you can sell your home for. And if you bought at the peak a few years ago and are hoping to sell for top dollar now, you may need to adjust your expectations. This isn't the 2021 housing market anymore. And I've seen it personally here in Port Orange, Valencia, North LA County, and the Antelope Valley, where you have a lot of new construction communities where resale sellers are forced to compete with these new builds that are loaded with incentives. And so the question becomes, will the housing market here in Los Angeles crash? And I don't think so personally, because what we're seeing looks more like a correction. Inventory is climbing, days on market are increasing, and builders are undercutting resale homes. But that doesn't mean we're heading for a 20 to 30% price collapse, which I know a lot of people would love to see. In fact, I think hoping for that kind of drop could bring bigger economic problems none of us want to see, to be honest. So instead, I see the market really more in transition, where your strategy matters even more. Because so far in Los Angeles County, I've seen on average a correction of about approximately 8% countywide. So for buyers, this actually could be an opportunity. More inventory means more choices and less competition, and you might even snag builder incentives that make your monthly payment lower than you possibly think. And for sellers, it's about pricing right from the start. I cannot stress this enough. Staging your home to shine, that's something that we take care of complimentary, and listening to your agent so you don't chase the market down. Now, I know a lot of people out there are hoping for a massive crash where Los Angeles home prices drop 20 to 30%. But let's be real, that's not something we should want. A crash like that wouldn't just hurt the sellers, it could drag down the entire economy and impact jobs, retirement savings, and local businesses here in Los Angeles. Because what we're seeing right now looks more like a market correction, not a total collapse. And honestly, I hope it stays that way, right? Because the market does need to have a healthy correction, and that can bring a lot of balance back to the Los Angeles housing market and creating opportunities for buyers and really help sellers reset their expectations without causing that kind of long-term pain we all lived through back in 2008. So I'm Scott Himelstein with the Scott Himelstein Group. And if you're thinking about buying or selling a home here in Los Angeles, whether it be a luxury new construction build, a family home, or an investment property that you're looking for, my team and I are here to guide you. We've been doing this for over 21 years, and we're here to help you through this shifting market. My goal is to help you win no matter which side of the deal you're on. Hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope to see you on the next one.